What happens when a real estate deal does not close on time? Hey buyers, as soon as you hear that your deal may not close on time, immediately inform your lawyer and your real estate agent. Your next step is to get an extension for closing right away. Buyers, don't wait for the closing date to get the extension, hoping that the deal may close. Get the extension done right away. Now, if your lender says they need a week extension, ask for 3 weeks, just in case. How to extend the deal? Either your lawyer or your real estate agent can ask for one. You will need to do an amendment to the purchase agreement requesting for a new closing date. Buyers, if the seller agrees to extend the closing date, then you may need to give an extra deposit. Please note this extra deposit to extend the deal mostly is a non-refundable deposit. You may also be required to pay for any additional seller and lawyer cost. After you get the deal extended, work on getting the financing approved right away. See that your mortgage broker or your banker is not delaying. Constantly be after your mortgage broker or banker. Call them 3 to 4 times a day to find out what's happening. Also work on getting alternate financing to close the deal. Ask the seller for a vendor take back. You can also ask the seller if they will reduce the price. Hopefully this happens, but most likely not. But try. Hey buyer, if your deal does not close at all, then you may be responsible for all the losses incurred by the seller, not just the deposit amount. Once again, if your deal does not close at all, then you may be responsible for all the losses incurred by the seller, not just the deposit amount. Signs of your deal not closing. Your lender's asking for a lot more questions and documentation. Even after supplying the needed documentation, the lender is still not responding or is taking too long to respond. For sellers who are facing this dilemma where the deal is not closing on time, sellers, please do your best to help the buyers to close the deal. Give an extension if possible with conditions. Also try to get additional guarantors from the buyer. A tip for sellers. Sellers, ask your lawyer to find out if the buyer owns properties. If yes, determine the equity the buyer has in the properties they own. The seller's lawyer can put the buyer's lawyer on notice that the seller is aware that the buyer has equity in properties which will be subject to the seller's claim for damages. If the deal still does not close, sellers, consider if it is better to reduce the price a bit and close the deal rather than face the prospect of relisting and having to take legal action at a later time. Lawsuits are expensive and emotionally draining for both parties. Every circumstance is different and should be considered clearly and carefully with the buyer's agent and lawyers. Please note, I am not a legal expert or a lawyer. Always seek your own legal advice. This information I got is through my years of real estate experience. Neither me or my brokerage takes any responsibility or liability for any loss incurred because of this information provided. Thank you for listening and you have a wonderful day. For more information, please pop in a comment or you can visit me at awesomedawson.ca. Once again, thanks for listening and you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.